Hello everybody, welcome to this episode of Lance's Garage, and today we finally start the Firebird project. Yes, after having this car for now since December of 2021, collecting parts, getting things ready, it's finally time to start pulling the old 305 motor out and the turbo 350 transmission and putting in a 408 LS Gen 3 and a 4L80E. First things we're going to do is basically go under the car, pull the old exhaust off, get this motor ready to pull out. We still haven't gotten the new motor over here fully ready to go. It's a short block at the moment. It has to be converted. I'm going to be working on that over the next couple weeks, but I want to go ahead and start. I wanted to get this car up on the quick lift, get a peek underneath, make sure there wasn't anything else majorly wrong with the car. I have gone underneath of it once, and I'll show you some things I found. Nothing major, but just some things I'm going to correct. So let's go take a look. Okay, so this car has had some floor plan work done to it. It actually doesn't look horrible, although there are a few bigger welds. Also, overall, the car is pretty good considering I got it out of New York. Here's some more on the rear driver pan and the rear front, or the mid driver pan, also a little bit here. I think I'm going to just wire wheel these up, probably pull the carpet out and do check it from the inside, and maybe try and do some welding from the inside. You can also see over here, this is a worse done job over here. I'm gonna clean these up, and same thing, clean them up, probably do some work from the inside, wire wheel this. I'll just kind of go over it with some then go over some undercoating, some rust preventer. Over here you can see up underneath of the, I'll get these lines, brake lines out of the way, wire wheel up there on in those areas, and do the same thing. Looks like the rear bushings are going to need to be on the rear springs are going to have to be done. They'll appear to be original. However, the car is, I'm still happy with the condition of the car. Like I said, at least the floor plans have been, repaired and patched. Just need some better work done to them, and we can do that as part of this process. So basically the plan is I'm going to remove the exhaust, then I'll do the drive shaft, and then start disconnecting the stuff on the engine and just work our way slowly. And you can see here, I mean, these things can all be repaired. It looks like the pans were cut okay, just some bush league welding, but I don't know that I can do any better, but we'll try. Okay, so while I got the bolts soaking in penetrating oil, I've gone ahead and removed the upper fan shroud from the top here of the radiator. Disconnecting some hoses, just made a mess, and even though I drained the radiator seemed like it was fully drained, when I pulled the lower hose, just poof, gushing out of there. So don't know why that happened, considering the drain was barely barely going. Maybe I should have just opened it up some more, but it's almost done now. I got to clean up some of this mess. All right, next day, decided I could get the top transmission coil line off the radiator, but not the bottom, so I decided to use the handy dandy tubing cutter because this radiator is old, it is junk, it will not be reused. So just trying to, you know, get this thing off as quick as possible. Carburetor's off the car. I am bagging and tagging the hardware over here as I pull everything off, even though I'm not going to be using the carb on the motor swap replacement. Good to keep this stuff around, and plus, who knows, maybe this carb will get used on another project vehicle in the future. So I'm just getting everything off the top here, working the hoses down, disconnecting everything to get it ready to start pulling it out. Okay, the exhaust is completely out, headers are still on the block, radiator's out, and I have just started draining the transmission. So we will let that conclude, pull the pan, take a look at it. Well, here's the pan from that Turbo 350 that was hooked up to this motor. And you can see there's a lot of metal on the bottom here, so I mean, it didn't feel bad driving it around, but I would say that this is a pretty tired transmission. Probably, if it does get reused in a project of some sort, would need to go through a rebuild. So another thing that I'm finding good with this quick lift system, these bridges. I've got another one. I've only got one out right now, but you can use these for, they're like to put jack stands on, jacks, stuff that you can use to support the car while it's on the ramps. It's got this channel here that keeps it, you know, locked into the ramp. But I found that this thing was very useful when doing some one-man jobs, like when I was dropping the headers back to the catalytic converter. It was easier just to move the bridge up here, so that when the rear of the converter area dropped, the catalytic converter dropped, it would drop onto this bridge, not come crashing down the floor. Allowed me to do that as a one-man job. I'm also going to be doing something similar here for the when I pull this drive shaft. So I'm going to have it positioned back here closer to the rear diff. I'm going to unbolt the drive shaft from the rear. Then I'm going to set it down on this bridge, and then that'll help me you know, just slide the drive shaft out and, you know, keep it from hitting the floor. And this will just show you how I'm going to use this bridge here. I've actually got the camera on the bridge right here by the rear diff, and we're just going to Alright, now we're just gonna hopefully I have to tap this a little bit with a hammer, but hold on. Okay, added some PB Blaster to some places, put the car in neutral. And we're gonna try and just use a pry bar here to help coax this guy out of here. There we go. That's this side over here is where the problem was. It was stuck in there good. There we go. Alright, so get that out. You can see got this. This is going to come down here onto this bridge here and just help me out. So that's why I have the bridge there, just as a little thing. But this drive shaft isn't that heavy, so can just do it without that. But it's good to have as a safety feature in case that would have fell or something like that. Okay, so I got the drive shaft out. See it sitting on the bridge. Not heavy at all, because it's basically designed to connect a 10-bolt Chevy rear to a turbo 350 with a 305. So don't need a lot of substance for that. Alright, so I pulled the gas tank also. Got that done today. But you can see right here where the floor is solid, but this is where there was like a piece of glue. I guess the factory puts like a glue caulking barrier. Either that or the guy who had it before me had put it on. But it actually ripped the floor pan out here, or the trunk pan. So we had to just put a small patch here. I'm not really concerned about this. The trunk is solid, very solid actually. This just, I can actually show you what it did here. So the tank itself, right, so right here's that piece of the floor pan, and it's still stuck on there. It's just so this is the piece of that floor that's, or the trunk pan that's missing. It's still on there, and it's not rusted. I guess it's just maybe a little brittle or whatever. So here's the underside here. Where's that hole? You can see there is very minimal rust right there. There's really no rust underneath of this trunk at all. There is starting to get a little bit of rust up towards the back here. You can see over there. I will come in and wire wheel all this, clean up all this. The rear subframe looks very good, so that's good. You can't see it. It's hard to see everything. Apparently some of these pockets get a little bit messed up, but the frame itself is in pretty good shape. Here's a better look at some of those spots underneath of the this is the rear passenger or rear driver floor pan right here, rear passenger floor pan right here. I'm gonna need to wire wheel, clean those up, take a look at that, pull the carpet out, take a look from the inside, spray this down with some undercoating, get it a much longer life. But yeah, it looks pretty good underneath. You know, nothing, it's gonna be hard to find anything this age that's perfect. Especially I bought it in New York. I'm shocked. You know, we bought it, when I bought it, I did take a look at things, and you know, but it's hard to see. We couldn't get it up in the air on a lift to see everything. So, but you know, the outside body is straight. So making some more progress. Fenders are off. Put them down in the basement for now. And looking over the front core support here. This whole section can come off as one piece. All I have to do is take off these tray bolts, some bolts down here, and it looks like there's two large bolts going into the frame rails on both sides. So once I disconnect this tray, this is the battery tray. The other tray over there was where the evap canister was, charcoal canister. Once those are disconnected from the fenders here, which I'm just going to leave in place because I don't see a reason to move them. I might just give them the old you know, paint rebuild, clean them up in place. Maybe I'll pull them off. I don't know. Right now I'm not planning to. But if I get this disconnected, and then these two large bolts, I should be able to take this whole core support and the front bumper assembly off as a single piece. And then we're good to go. Hello everybody, back. We've got most of the front end disassembled here now. I'm going to be able to pull the motor out. Just got to get the plate on, loosen the two motor mount bolts, transmission mount bolts. I just got to check one other wiring harness towards the back, that starts running towards the back side of the motor, and also remove the wiring going to the starter. And then this motor will be yanked out. So the weather's been bad for a few weeks, weekends. Haven't been able to get as much done as I liked. But today basically ripped out the interior of the car. Wanted to take a look at the floor, see how things looked. From the inside, based on what we saw on the outside, I'm pretty happy. Need to just get some rust prohibitor here. I found a small pinhole back in this area under the rear seat, and I've got a very small hole right here that I'm just going to fill in with a welder. And there's another small hole about the same place on the passenger side. Overall though, everything looks good. You can see, even though those welds aren't great, they're under carpet, so who cares? Looks like, you know, they at least got enough material down on the patches on both sides, so I'm happy with that. I did go ahead and remove the shifter column, and the reason for that is when you go from a 3-speed to a 4-speed, you have to replace this indentation on the inside of the shifter here. These little, so basically what I got to do is I have to drill out this rivet right here and this rivet right here on this indent tab, and then I've got a replacement one from Shiftworks that goes in, that gives you the extra notch for the overdrive. I've got a new cable there, but it was recommended to go to a slightly longer cable. Have gotten, just to show the update, we're pretty much ready to pull the motor out here, just waiting for some better weather, because I am going to need to bring in the hoist from the garage, open door of the garage, move all this stuff out of the way, and then can hoist it out and bring it back in through this door and store it over here in this mess. But waiting for a better day to do that, possibly tomorrow. So taking advantage of the time for the weekend and getting some work done. I wanted to take a look at the floor to make sure it wasn't a train wreck based on working underneath the car. It's not. Happy with it. And since I got all the carpet out, I got the carpet right there. Seats are in the basement now. Just going to address these things. Go ahead, get the shifter done. Get the shifter cable out and the new one in. And that will be the biggest part that I got done. Pretty easy to get all this out. Like I said, 4 bolts holding the seats down. Each seat pads were able to come out. I will pull this out, the rear pad, before I go in and weld in this back section, just so I don't catch anything on fire. I'm also going to eventually get a light and just make underneath the car, see if I see any more pinholes. I think also I'm going to go ahead and order some Dynamat while I got all this out. So I'm going to clean this up, clean all this up, get the rust covered, get the holes patched, and then Dynamat the bottom of this entire floor, just to get some sound and heat deadening from there on this car, since my goal is to have it be a driver car. Weather's improving. Time for the motor to come out. There's 2 bolts holding it in right now, the 2 main motor bolts. I've already removed the 2 on the trans cross member. Got the hoist here and going to work on it. Hunter, can you help me real quick? I just need you to kind of bring us back. Well, I'm just kind of guiding it and make sure we don't go down the flipping hill.
Yeah, okay. This is something right now.
Alright. Okay, ready?
So what do I have to do? Just make it not fall?
What's that? Yeah, just keep it, so just start bringing it back some.
Okay.
And we're gonna...
Can I pull on this?
Yeah. And we just... Okay.
Oh, it looks attached over here.
Where?
Right here. This wire's going around that stuff.
Oh, okay, hold on. Fix these.
Alright, there we go.
there's nothing. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Make sure it's not getting caught up over here. Yeah, it is. Here, wait. Okay, now go.
You wash your feet?
Yep. Oh. Sorry.
All the way down.
I'm not gonna bring it all the way down. Just bring it down a little bit. Let me make sure I'm past the. Here, bring it out just a little bit further. Bring it down a little bit here. There. Okay. Let's kind of bring it out some more. No,
Turn more.
Huh?
Turn sideways.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hold on, we're good. So, motor's out. Got it sitting over there in the corner. Next thing is I'm going to put some degreaser on the cross member here on the inside of the frame rails. Also going to remove the transmission cross member there because I've got a replacement, and then I'm going to start building out the rest of the LS408 block. I'm going to get it hooked up to the 4L80 and be ready to start putting all this together. At the point of no return now, but happy to have gotten this far. This is a major milestone that I wanted to get to on this build, getting the old motor out and being ready to put the new one in. Thinking about doing some suspension upgrades while I'm up here, both front and rear. Leafs look pretty worn. All the bushings are worn pretty much throughout the whole thing. Also probably going to look at maybe upgrading some of the steering here, replacing out these components. You can see how the bushings are kind of shot here in the front, which to be expected for a car this age, even though the miles maybe 86,000, but who knows. But since I've got all this apart and I'm going to be cleaning all this up, better to do it now than do it. I think we'll let this conclude out the first episode of the Firebird LS swap and teardown, and we'll just call it the teardown. Thank you for joining this episode of Lance's Garage. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to follow more and to be up to date on new episodes as they come out. And thank you for watching.